Welcome back to WagerTalk TV. I'm Steve Merril from WagerTalk.com, and I'm going to give you three big letdown spots in college and pro football for this weekend on both Saturday and Sunday. These are three favorites that are in very difficult scheduling situations, and you better be careful if you're going to play these teams this week. I'd recommend the underdog in all three of these games, and I'm going to tell you exactly why in just a moment. Once again, sandwich situations, lunchtime hour here, sandwich situations, letdown spots, whatever you want to call them. Three favorites in college and pro football that are play against spots, in my opinion, this week on Saturday and Sunday. Just a quick reminder, if you've been with me for the month of December, you've been cashing big. Off to a 12-2, 86% all sports start in December. 8-1, 89% start in college basketball this season. You know, we're talking football here on this video, but don't forget college basketball off to an 89% start for my clients after the first few weeks. And that's part of that 12-2, 86% December run as I record this video today. WagerTalk.com, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com for my personal best bets each and every day in all sports right now. Let's look at college football first, and this game goes early at noon Eastern on ESPN Saturday afternoon. We're going to go against the number one team in the country, Alabama. Hey, look, I've used Alabama numerous times this season. I had them as a best bet for my clients a couple weeks ago when they beat Auburn. Last week on the video for my college football three-pack, I mentioned that the line values with LSU, but I wanted nothing to do with the Tigers there, as they've been a train wreck all season. And Alabama, once again, even not having an inflated line, got it done for their second straight big revenge win in a row. But that's what puts them in such a bad spot now, as they're having to play an Arkansas team, and they have a huge game on deck against Florida. So look at it this way. Alabama just beat Auburn, their rival, and LSU, the defending national champs. Both teams had beaten Alabama last year. Alabama back-to-back big revenge wins, and they have a huge look-ahead game in the SEC title game next week against Florida, and then most likely the national semifinals and finals right after that within a 2-week span. Hard to imagine they care about beating Arkansas by more than 4.5 touchdowns. This line opened 31. It's now up to 32. And Arkansas's actually got a sparky offense. Yes, they're coming off a heartbreaking 50-48 loss last week, but the fact they put so many points up against Missouri is a good sign. They've outscored 35 or more in 2 of their last 3 games. They're averaging over 8.5 yards per pass. That's the type of team that has some backdoor cover potential if needed. I think Arkansas can stay within that 32-point line. By the way, my power ratings make it 29, so it is inflated on top of that. So once again, I think Alabama's the best team in the nation, and they win the national title this year. But this is the one week you probably do not want to be using the Crimson Tide. Flat spot on the schedule in college football. Another team that's getting a lot of national title attention now is Coastal Carolina, and they're coming off the biggest win in program history last week as a 10-point home underdog against Brigham Young. And now they have to go on the road as a double-digit road favorite against Troy, who's just 5-5 on the season. But it's a very dangerous scheduling spot for Coastal. Whenever I see a team that's been a 2-touchdown home dog win and then go as a 2-touchdown road favorite, or double-digit road favorite rather, that's always a huge red flag in the game I circle right away. So the question becomes, can Troy do enough to keep this one close? And I think they can. They're just 5-5 on the season straight up, but they give up only about 24 points a game. Only give up about 5.5 yards per play, and I think that defense can keep this one close. It was an impressive win on paper against Brigham Young last week, but keep in mind, BYU took that game on about 2 days' notice. Coastal was supposed to have a big game at home against Liberty last week. Liberty had a COVID outbreak, including the starting quarterback midweek. The game got scratched Wednesday, Thursday. BYU takes it on less than 2 days' notice and have to travel all the way to the East Coast. So I'm not going to give Coastal Carolina a lot of credit for that win. Their only other legitimate win this year was a 3-point win over Appalachian State. So to now lay almost 2 touchdowns. By the way, this line is currently 13.5 in a lot of locations, but I am seeing some 14s out there now. At plus 14 or more, I think there's some value with Troy as the big home dog, especially in what looks like a really bad scheduling spot for Coastal Carolina. Dangerous sandwich spot in the NFL this Sunday for the New Orleans Saints. Saints are playing excellent football right now, and along with Kansas City Chiefs, they might be the co-favorite right now to be in the Super Bowl. Probably the favorite in the NFC, in my opinion, even without Drew Brees in the lineup. But this looks like a very difficult and dangerous scheduling spot for the New Orleans Saints. First of all, not only are they coming off some big wins, including a divisional win against the Falcons last week, but they have a huge look-ahead game against the Kansas City Chiefs, who I just mentioned, a very likely Super Bowl preview perhaps next week against the Chiefs. And now they're traveling for not only the 3rd straight week, but their 5th game in the last 7 have been on the road, including 3 straight here without rest. A couple of weeks ago, they played in the thin air and altitude at Denver. They beat a Bronco team that did not have a quarterback on the roster. It was using a practice squad wide receiver, Hinton, who only completed 1 pass in that game. So I don't give the Saints much credit for that win. And then, of course, last week, a divisional game against Atlanta that was close. Falcons have been mediocre at best this year. Now, the problem becomes, can you trust the Philadelphia Eagles? And I fully understand why this line's a full touchdown, because the Eagles have been awful. They've scored 17 or less now in 4 straight games. And they are switching the quarterback, though. Jalen Hurts went in the second half last week. I think he's mediocre at best. I'm not sure he is an NFL starter long term, but it could be enough of a spark, especially in what's such a tremendous flat spot for the Saints, and especially if New Orleans overlooks the Eagles in this game as well. That's another element there for the letdown for the New Orleans Saints. Once again, hold your nose, pull the trigger with the ugly underdog Philadelphia Eagles. But I think the Saints have bigger games on deck, including a much bigger game next week against the Saints, and they could be a little flat this week. So once again, looks like a dangerous scheduling spot for the New Orleans Saints as a full touchdown favorite at Philadelphia. Don't forget, if you want my official best bets, the exact same games I am personally using each and every day, go to my page right now at WagerTalk.com. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. 12-2, 86% start to December. 8-1, 89% start to the college basketball season. And you get my personal best bets with detailed analysis each and every day on my page right now at WagerTalk.com. Steve Merril wishing you great luck this weekend, and I'll talk to you soon here on Wager Talk TV.